Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Spiritual Growth Journeys. I'm your host, Kimberly Palm, teacher, spiritual teacher, and visionary, and healer, and mom, and whatnot. Back here again for another video for you to enjoy and to help you on your journey. Everything we do here on this channel is all about helping you to grow on your spiritual journey, to learn on your spiritual journey, to learn how to self-heal, to learn how to expand your consciousness, get into the fifth density, raise your vibrational frequency, and on and on and on. And that's what we're here for on this channel. So welcome back. And I've got another amazing guest here who I've had before on my show, my brother from another mother, Hillis Pugh. And Hillis and I actually were brother and sister in a past life, and I recognized him immediately. It was really kind of cool, actually. When we were in Sirius B, we were related. So I am excited to have Hillis. Let me tell you a little bit about him. He is a visionary, authentic soul, has been on a whole journey of enlightenment. He's a published author, soul mentor, energy facilitator, podcaster, and him and Rebecca Gregory interview people on their show as well. They have an amazing show on YouTube that they do and podcasts that they do. And he uses his gifts and platforms to empower others and to heal others too. He's also just an amazing healer. So welcome back, Hillis. It's been a long time since I've had you here with me.
It has. I was thinking about that the other day. I'm like, it's been, I don't know, I can't even think of how long it's been, but I'm glad to be back regardless.
Well, I'm glad you came back. And the thing I always like about Hillis is he's really in tune with Lemurian, everything that has to do with Lemuria, which one of my past lifetimes, it's his Lemurian light energy. He uses a lot of Lemuria. He accesses a lot of the memories from his lifetime there, because it's interesting. Him and I were both in Atlantis, both in Lemuria, both in Series B. We've had like a lot of coexisting. I think we've known each other for what, millions of years or something like that, and lifetimes, who knows. Yeah.
When I forget how we got connected, but like I said, it was immediate. It's like, I know your soul. It's funny because people's like, I know you from somewhere, but no, I know your soul. And we had that really long discussion, just trying to figure out from where and what lives, not just, being on Sirius B, but not also in just Lemuria or Atlantis, but also, in Christ times as well. And so like, and now in this time, so it's like every time there seems to be some sort of pivotal moment of consciousness, collective consciousness, that we always end up finding each other. It's like, hey, we got work to do.
Yeah. And I think I told you when I was on your show with Rebecca and you and Victoria, I had said to you, you come back looking almost the same as you did in each incarnation. So it makes it easier to find the people too, because you look at them and you see them physically and they look really similar. So you recognize them quicker. So yeah.
That's a good thing too, because just real quick, we were talking about people losing their hair, and that's like, I wanted to regrow mine back because I miss having my hair. But it's like, no, you're a guy, so you're not supposed to have any.
You're not supposed to. You never have. You haven't for several lifetimes. So I mean, it's just who you are. And keep in mind that on a lot of planets, people don't have hair. Like, hair is a very human thing on Earth. But if you look at a lot of the ETs, like if you get Elena Danon's book that has like 150 species of ETs in there, most of them don't have any hair. So that's like, hair is like just a thing, like a Earth thing. It's not like a big deal. You know what I mean?
And I guess the reason why I have an attachment to it is because I am one of probably the only people in my family that has red hair, and I miss having my red hair. And it's like now it's like I want to do all these things with it. I'm like, I can't do anything with it but shave it.
So if you had red hair, then you must have a Viking gene in your genetics somewhere, because the red-headedness all comes originally from the Pleiadians and then from the Vikings. The first the Pleiadians and then the Viking people. There was a famous Viking named Eric the Red, and the red-headed thing, a lot of it came from up in the Nordic areas, the red and the blondes, and then that filtered down because the people down in the southern part of the world were all dark hair, dark skin, dark eyes, all of that. When you start getting in things like blue eyes and green eyes and blonde hair and red hair and all that kind of stuff, that all comes like from the northern people, like the Scandinavians and the Vikings, and who were Pleiadians before that. Mostly their bloodline, their DNA is Pleiadian. So yeah,
I mean, well, that would make sense considering that, my dad's last name is Kennedy, which is Irish. And then my mom's maiden name, Pugh, which is my name, is Welsh. So from Wales. So it's like everything that I have, the lineage goes back that way. But then also being African American, being from mostly the West Africa, that part. And so you have, part uh, uh, West Africa, and then the Welsh and Irish. So that's all blended in there. So it's like, it makes sense. So yeah, but nonetheless, I still miss my red hair.
It would have been interesting to see you with red hair. That would be interesting. I mean, I know a lot. Well, my mom had flaming orange red hair. I love it. I love red hair. So I'm always trying to dye my hair kind of more of a red. I don't know if you can tell in the lighting here, but
yeah,
when it's in the camera, but it's more of like a reddish. Yeah, I like the red.
Mine is more like a coppery brown, almost like this, like the coppery, more like a coppery fiery. It's not more fiery, yeah.
Sounds real pretty. I think when we get the medbed technology and some of these technologies that are going to be coming out, you'll have the opportunity to have that if you want it. You know what I mean?
We'll see.
So yeah, we'll see. But I think there's technologies coming in the future and then also as we raise up in frequency and become 12 strand DNA and crystalline, I think we'll be able to like make ourselves look however we want as well, possibly. Like I think that we can be our own med bed in a way, and we can transform ourselves in the future, that we're going to have that ability to do that, because we could back 25,000 years ago, we were able to do that.
Yeah.
So
and I'm glad that you mentioned that the ability, for us to tap into that 12 strand crystalline DNA, because I actually just started doing my light body activation classes, which is a lot of fun for me because I can really get in there and to really help people on their ascension. Yeah.
Right. Well, since we're talking about that, can you go ahead and share, because that's one of the things that you and I talked about, we were going to share with everybody today. Hillis is doing these light body activations, and he's doing all of these amazing, actually, he's doing a whole bunch of classes that he's coming out with in schools. He's coming out with a Syrian school. He's coming out with so many, he's bringing a lot of stuff to you all to help you heal yourself. That's his main, objective, right, Hillis, pretty much to help people heal themselves. Yeah. So let's talk about that. Can you please tell everybody, like, first of all, I want to know, how did you come up with all of this light body work? Was it a download that you got? Did you just think it up one day? Did you get inspired by somebody? Like, how did you come up with it? How did it get started, and what is it exactly? And what are you doing, and what's coming with this?
Well, actually it's a combination of things, a combination of inspiration and downloads, because I see other healers, other light workers doing light body activations, but I'm like, how are they doing it? What are they doing? And so, and I was like, well, I'm not going to do that because the other people are doing it. But I'm like, no, I have to do it. And so what I do and what makes my work different from anyone else's activation or energy work in general is that I channel energy from series A, B, and C. So when I do any of the Lemurian work, people have to understand that the Syrians were also the first Lemurians. And so that when they came here,
Yeah.
they created Lemuria, but they didn't want, it was like, a serious satellite,
Mhm.
like, like an island and so forth. So they created Lemuria based off of Sirius. And so with that, with the energy that I'm attuned to, yes, it's a Lemurian energy, but it is by way of Syrian energy and technology. I'm able to connect with that energy. And so what I do in the light body activation is I channel this energy, call it in, facilitate, because that's what I do. I facilitate this energy. And I call in particular, actually there's new tools. I wish I had them here to present on the show, but there's tools that I use in the activation that others connect to through me. One device that I use is called a Healy, and it's a little energetic device. It's an IMF microcurrent, so it's like your individual microcurrent frequency. And there's a particular program on the Healy that I use called Light Body. So as I run this particular program, it activates the light body energy in me as well, and then I kind of send the innovate energy to those who are in the meditation with me. And in addition to that, there are crystals that I use. One is cryolite crystal, uh, prophecy stone to help ground the energy, um, Hondu light, which helps activate the light body, and Z stone, which is another crystal to help to go out into the astral space, as well as the other tool that I use is a Lemurian healing rod. So all these tools that I use help to facilitate the energy as well as light language for this 45-minute to hour long session to activate the 12 strand DNA energy.
Wow. All of those crystals that you mentioned, I've never even heard of most of them, which is interesting. Yeah. And I'm
I'm a
embarrassed because
crystal
I'm like
boy.
a crystal fanatic. Yeah. I have thousands of crystals. I'm holding this in my lap right now. This is hematite to help me
Yes.
stay grounded. And then I'm wearing a amethyst, Merkaba, and I've got selenite all around. I mean, I've been collecting crystals and rocks since literally I was like 2-3 years old. Like I started picking them off the ground, and that's because you and I were both in Atlantis and Lemuria, and those civilizations were very powered up by crystal technology. That was the thing, was crystals. So, I have a lot of those, but I'm going to tell you, the ones that you mentioned, some of them I never heard of before, and I'm like, what?
Yeah.
I've never heard of those.
Yeah, you have to get Robert Simmons' book of stones because
Mhm.
that's why I really read about most of the crystals that I have.
Uh-huh.
The ones we were talking about prior to the show, like the Andorra crystals, those aren't in the book, but you can find out the information about those from, those are the highest vibration crystals. The ones that I use in the session are geared towards like body transformation and activation. And people can visit the link in the description uh, on Wellset to book. It's $45 for the 45 to 60 minutes. And trust me, with the tools that I use, no one else is doing this the way that I'm doing it because I'm using both energy and technology to assist in the transformation because it works on the physical level as well as an energetic and soul level.
I'm feeling like maybe I need to sign up and get a healing session with you, because I need to do so much self-care. I'm going through a lot of stuff in my life. I'm a human,
Yeah.
I'm not, some goddess creature that has superpowers. My superpowers are just my spidey senses, my psychic abilities. But I
Yeah.
mean, I'm a human, and I'm a work in progress, and I'm learning
Yeah.
so much from you. And it's so interesting because even though I'm a teacher, I'm still a student. And when I have people like Hillis on the show here with me, all these people that I have on each week, I'm learning from them too. We learn from each other. Like all of my friends who I'm connected to in the Lightworker community, we all learn from each other because we all bring different gifts to the table. And the stuff I do and the downloads I've gotten and all the modalities, because I've created all my own modalities in my life, and you've created all your own modalities, and they're all unique from each other. And we kind of bring them to the table. and we all help each other and we learn from each other. And it's just an amazing community. I'm really grateful and
Yeah.
blessed, to know you and know all the people who I have here. And so, but I think I need to try a session with you because I'm having a lot of physical stuff I'm going through, in a pain level, because I'm a super empath and I'm taking on all of the pain of the collective, like the emotional pain of the collective. And then I have with family attacking me all the time and not supporting me. I've got that because your muscular skeletal system is your support system. And when your family is not supporting you, then that's the result. So I'm trying to do a lot of healing on that. So
Yeah,
yeah.
and what I really like about this too is that it also works in doing some soul retrieval. So this
Mhm.
here is pretty much high level
Yeah.
energy, and anyone who's watching this, yes, it doesn't matter where you are in your energy, doesn't matter where you are in your life, you can't come in to receive it because it is just for you to activate the light body energy, but to assist in the facilitation of releasing deeper traumas or deeper physical pains. Yes, that's definitely something a one-on-one session, because I've worked with people who have MS, people who have kind of fatigue syndrome, people who were sexually abused. I work with all kind of people
Wow.
to help them to alleviate whatever it is that they want to release out of their energy field and physical body. It is on that. Even right now, I'm going through a deep uh, personal healing journey, and hopefully, I'll be able to share this sometime next week because I don't want to disclose too much because I'm in the middle of this work in progress. But it's really interesting to feel and see transformations within myself because, as I told you before, well, I think I told you on my show that I went did plant medicine in Campbell, which is a frog medicine for a whole month of September. So that was like the beginnings of this inner body transformation, which led me to it's like, okay, I know how to do this on myself, my physical body, and I know how to do it on the energy level. So let me take this and apply it to other people. Because now that I know for myself, I can do it for other people to do it better.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's interesting. It sounds like you do the same thing I do. I always try everything that I've ever done to help other people. I've done it for myself first. I've always
You
used
have
myself as a
to.
guinea pig. Yeah. And like all of the supplements I take that I recommend to people, I've taken them myself. Like I will never recommend something to somebody I haven't tried out on myself and proven that it is safe and effective and, that kind of thing. And the same with energy modalities. There's so many different healing modalities on the planet. I mean, I did a whole energy medicine workshop where I talked about all these things. And the fact of the matter is people need to try out Lemurian light energy, all the things that you're doing, all the things that all these people are doing. There's so many things to choose from. And before you go out and you heal other people, every single healer is on a healer's journey where we have to heal ourselves and we have to try different modalities on ourselves to see what works, what doesn't work before we go out and turn around and do this stuff for other
Yeah.
people.
Exactly,
Wow.
and that's exactly it because even though I'm a teacher like you, I'm a student, so I'm a teacher, student, master.
Mm-hmm.
So there's the master level, teacher level, student level. Just like in Christ conscious energy, you have the
Yeah.
Trinity.
Mm-hmm.
And so in that Trinity, there's the unity. So I'm the unity, experiencing this Trinity of energy. And so being this master teacher student, there are things that we, try out, things that we know, things that we connect to that we know is good for us. But what I want people to understand that in the work that I do and the energy that I present and facilitate, it is also up to you to do the physical work too. Because you go through the energy, you go through this, you go through the ride of the roller coaster, you feel the energy, and then a week or two later, it's like, well, I don't feel anything. I don't think anything has changed. Well, that's because you have to also integrate it into the physical space.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to get to a point where we won't have to have this form of integration. But until we get there, we have to integrate everything that we've done on the energetic level into the physical level, which is why most light workers or other healers have challenges grounding in the energy because we're always so up here, which is great. It's fabulous to be up here all the time. I love being up here. But it wasn't until earlier this year, well, late last year, earlier this year, that I was like, okay, well, I know I have fun up here. how much fun I can have when I actually ground the energy into the physical body. So it is in that space of grounding. And I want people to really understand that when I say ground, not ground and connect to earth energy, because that's something completely different. Ground the energy that is you, your soul, in the ether, and ground it into the physical body. And then if you want to take it a step further, then you can ground into the earth energy to solidify what you know yourself to be.
Exactly, which is why I'm sitting on this thing. I mean, I literally have it in my lap. That's to help ground my energy, because when I'm doing work with you and other light workers on here, I'm like way up here floating in space. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's like almost like out of body, because we're really getting into all this stuff, you know, and this energy. And when you and I put our energies together also, it's such a high frequency that you like, it literally makes you feel like you're kind of a floaty. Do you know what I'm saying? Like kind of
Yeah,
like you're
yeah,
floating
yeah.
out of it. So I have to ground myself into my body. And so I use this thing for that reason. You know, that's what I do, versus like grounding yourself to the earth, which is like walking barefoot or putting your back on a tree, which I'll do sometimes, go and put my back up against a tree and meditate, or, you know, that's more of a grounding to Gaia thing. But you do have to, when you're doing light work, like you said, we're way up here floating around kind of, and we need to pull it back into the human form.
The body, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, one of the things that also that I found that has helped me in the past year with that is listening to 40 hertz gamma energy. You know, because as you know, in the past year, the Earth has been bombarded with 40 hertz energy.
Mm-hmm.
And 40 hertz energy is a very soothing energy, and also it helps to open up the third eye and other energy centers in the body for you to receive as the energy transforms as well. And so it's really beneficial for anyone. It doesn't matter if you are a light worker or not, or just you could be a human being, just a person and listen to it, and really appreciate and feel the effect of it.
Hmm.
But I don't recommend listening to it with headphones. Listen to it without headphones first to
Yeah.
get used to the energy, then listen to it with headphones.
That's it. I think it's probably packs a wallop, you know, it's probably really powerful. So yeah, I could see why you wouldn't
Yeah.
want to, because, you know, all of those videos on YouTube for like the 528 hertz and 852 and 3 whatever and 432, you know, all of those things, they always say best to listen with headphones. But I think that there's certain circumstances where you don't listen with a headphone. So in what you were just saying, that
Yeah,
applies.
those frequencies are
Hmm.
fine. It's
Hmm.
just the 40 hertz is so much. You know, it's just like you picking up a crystal for the first time. It's like, whoa. So,
Hmm.
you know, just a few minutes here or there to really adjust to the energies and frequencies, we can really, like, boom, all in at the same time. So, yeah.
I have to be really careful with sound frequencies. I'm so sensitive that some of them make me nauseous and dizzy. Like I get lightheaded and dizzy and stuff like
This
that with
one, be
certain
very
frequencies.
careful with.
So yeah. Some of them, because I'm an empath, but I'm also what's called HSP, hypersensitive person. So I'm sensitive to everything. I'm sensitive to smells. I'm sensitive to sounds. I'm sensitive to like tags in my shirt, you know, every little, you know, like
Yeah.
things rubbing on my skin, you know, I'm just sensitive. You know, I can't wear wool. It makes my skin itch, you know, stuff like that. So I'm sensitive to everything. So for all of you people who are HSP, you know, your HSP, which is very sensitive person, listen to what Hillis says. If you do the 40 hertz, make sure that you try it without the headphones and be really careful. And if it makes you feel nauseous, anytime you do any of these modalities or listen to any kind of frequency stuff, if it makes you feel sick, turn it off. You know, you may not be ready for it yet. You
No, I
know.
mean, like I say, anything new,
Mm-hmm.
small doses. You
Little
know,
tiny.
with me, I know I can take a lot. I mean, it's like boom, just give it to me, I'm done. But other people, it's like small doses. So don't do what I do because I know what I can do. So know yourself and know what you can tolerate.
Well, you know, and Hillis was like a priest in ancient Egypt. He was like a high priest. So he's able to navigate a lot of this stuff better than most of the people I know out there because of his past life. He's always kind of a spiritual priest and healer in his past lifetime. So he really is a master. He really is here as a master teacher, honestly. So you know, he really know how to navigate you can navigate really well, really, really well. So
I appreciate it. And it took me almost being here half my life this go around to understand that and to really accept it because 20 plus years ago, someone said to me, "Like you're going to be an amazing healer," and I'm like, "What are you talking about? No, I'm a writer. I'm a poet. I heal with my words, not with my hands." And so I kind of interpret that to be like, okay, I write poetry. I write poetry with my hands. So ergo, I'm healing with my hands and helping people with my words. And so I still write poetry, but who knew? Like 20 years later, I'll be sitting here talking to you about Lemurian light energy. Who knew of these things?
mhm. That's true. So, okay. So I have a little list of things that you wanted to kind of talk about today. So like one of the things, let's talk about what's going on energetically on the planet. So we know that there's lots of Schumann resonant stuff happening. There's solar flares happening. There's just energies in general that are happening that are shifting like crazy. People are shifting on a consciousness level. What do you feel personally is happening like right now in this moment? Where are we heading? Do you feel that the energy is good, bad, and how can people navigate through all this?
Well, right now we are in the middle of the 11/11 portal, as we talked about on my show, Cosmic
Mm-hmm.
Insight, where it's going to go for the next 40 days until the winter solstice.
Mm-hmm.
And so in this time period is the time of planning, trying to get your organization of what you want to plan, what you want to do, prosperity, things of that nature, get all the ducks in a row, so to speak. And honestly, I wouldn't label what's happening on the planet good or bad. It's just happening. Because when we get stuck in the labels, we get stuck in the minutia of trying to find the right decision. Okay, is this good? Is this bad? What should I do? What should I do? And then we get in the space of, hey, I don't know what to do because you don't know if it's going to be good or bad. And so I
Mm-hmm.
kind of like stray away from those particular polar opposite of labels, good or bad. And so what's happening right now, the collective level is, us being in the middle of this portal, this gateway. We all have to really understand that we are at the precipice that's going to be able to help change and tilt the collective consciousness. There is, I forget what it is, there's a portal happening tomorrow because tomorrow's a new moon. I
Yeah.
believe it's a new moon tomorrow. And then there's something else happening along with that new moon. I can't think of it right now.
Yeah, I can't either, but they're warning that there's a lot of stuff going on tomorrow. 11/19 is it's a big day. There's a lot of stuff happening. So
Yeah,
yeah.
so but honestly, when isn't there a lot of stuff happening these days?
Yeah.
I mean, and really don't want to say, but it's overstated the unprecedented times in our history on the planet because we have arrived at a place of total conscious shift where we can either step up and be the masters or stay where we are and be stagnant and have other people decide for us what we do as a collective as
Yeah.
not as we continue to live in spaces of separation, or do we decide to finally unite as one human race? It's like, okay, this is what we want, this is what we deserve. And right now there's a lot of that division going on because no one really knows what they want. And so there's other entities and other beings, and when I speak of entities, not just extraterrestrial but also terrestrial, other I want to stay away from one word in particular, but people kind of get the gist. But when you have other overseers
Mhm.
of the land,
Mhm. Yeah. I know what you're
overseers
talking
of
about.
yeah, overseers of the land, when you
Mhm.
have that type of entity, then it is those who will um, put things in motion to make decisions for you when it's really not up to them, it should be up to you because now
Mhm.
it is up. Now
Mhm.
we're at the point, it's like, okay, what should I do? Should I listen to them? Should I listen to me? Should I listen to my friend? So there's a lot of confusion right now. So right now it's best to always trust your intuition, trust your heart because your heart knows what's best for you.
Mhm.
This is one of the reasons why Kimberly and I connected because we were on this path of like, okay, we have to figure out what's best for me. And then if I know what's best for me, then I can guide other people on that path of what's best for them because I can teach them. That's part of what our purpose is to teach and to teach about the space, the time, energy that is here for us to utilize.
Yeah. And I think, we're moving from an enslavement society, like we talked about with Maria Bernardis on one of my shows. I talked with her and she said the word job actually means slave in, like, I think the Greek language or something like that. Yeah.
That's
They
something
created,
new.
yeah, because it's the fact of the matter is this whole society was created to enslave humanity, but we're moving from that to being sovereign beings. And one of the biggest things I do, and you do, both of us, we all do it, is try to empower everyone to be sovereign and free and to think for themselves, speak for themselves, take care of themselves, and disconnect from the matrix, basically.
Yeah.
So
It's interesting too. I'm glad you brought that up too, because one of the things that I've noticed lately, especially with my clients in particular, and I'm not saying that I'm not one to help or assist when a client calls or asks, but it's like, oh my goodness, I'm going through X, Y, and Z right now. I don't know what to do. What should I do? And I'm like, take a minute, read what it is that they're asking for. And I'm like, didn't we just talk about this? Aren't you supposed to do X, Y, and Z? Look in, trust yourself, take a breath, and then follow whatever feeling or thought that comes after. Because I can sit here and govern all my clients or oversee all my clients to tell them what to do, but that's not what I do. It is me offering that space for them to make the choice of their own. Because with anything that I do, one is with client permission, and two, it is really for them and for us to work together to create the safe space for them to feel supported in any choices that they wish to choose.
Absolutely. That's awesome. And what I call it for me when I'm working with people is accountability and responsibility. I'm trying to hold my clients because I can teach them from now till doomsday, but if they don't follow through and do the work, people aren't going to get a snap and everything. Their life is perfect. You can't fix everything, change everything, upgrade everything without putting in work. Every single person who we help as light workers, they have to put in their own work in their own time. We can't just make their whole life perfect with just snap like a magic wand. Like, we can't.
Not yet. We have to wait till we're in 5D for that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if I could be Hermione from Harry Potter and just wave a wand and fix it, she fixed Harry's glasses with this one little, thing, or if I can go expecto patronum and obliterate all of the demons, demons. Because if I was a character in Harry Potter, I would be Hermione. So
yeah, she has a really cool pouch. Just everything she pulls whatever and anything out of the pouch. So yeah.
Yeah, you can't. So what Hillis and I do is when we're working with people is we are going to give you a tool belt of skills that we're going to teach you to utilize for yourself. But the key success word here is utilize. If you don't use, it's an action thing. Okay. You have to take action. If you don't, when he's teaching you and when I'm teaching you how to heal yourself or how to, raise your frequency or whatever, when we're teaching this, if you don't follow through with what we're teaching and you don't put your own work in, nothing's going to come of it. And then you're going to say, oh, well, I had a session with Hillis or Kimberly and nothing changed. It's still the same. Well, did you do the work? Because you're a sovereign free being and you need to think for yourself and you need to develop your own consciousness. And it's not up to us to do that for you. We can empower you and motivate you and be your cheerleader and lift you up and teach you things. You have to do the rest of the work. It's important. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So what are some things, that you do? Like, what are some of your skills and abilities that you have that you have been utilizing for, since you've been doing this work? What are some of the things that, because like, I already know, well, I mean, I should say, I know, I know what they are. The audience doesn't know what they are. I already know all of your gifts, which are beautiful. I know Hillis has amazing gifts and I know what they are, but I want him to share with you all of his gifts because he's a very gifted man. And I just want you guys to get to know him better so you can understand what he does. So
Thank you, Kimberly. Yeah,
yeah.
honestly, where do I begin? Well, my first love will always be poetry. It will always be writing. That was my first love. I mean, I'm a poet by nature, write all my own original stuff, which you can visit my website to read. So, um, but in regards to my what Kimberly calls my gifts, I just call them my abilities that I've grown into, and that's what we all have. We all have abilities that we've grown into. I was just talking to someone the other day where I think it was with you, Kimberly, if not, who was it? Yeah, where I came into this life with 8% telekinesis. No, actually, it was on a show that I was on yesterday. Yeah, I came into this life with 8% telekinesis. I'm like, where's the other 92%? And so, it's just that simple that we come into this life with certain abilities, and then over a period of time, if you use them and nurture them, they will eventually grow. Because I always have been intuitive and an empath, and there was one life, one incident in my life where my empathic abilities just skyrocketed, and it was a lot. And so I turned them off. Don't know how. After that moment, I was like, I'm done. I don't want to feel anything. I don't want to feel anymore. And then as I got to hone my audience, my psychic abilities to where I became, where I was aware that I was a psychic medium. Once I honed it, then I allowed myself to turn on my psychic abilities, my empathic abilities, but use it as a light switch or as a dial as I teach people to use their energy as a dial, because I know it can be a lot, but until you learn to navigate and manage this energy, you then can move from there. And just eventually the next evolution for me was to start taking Reiki classes. And I was going for my level 2, believe it or not. I'm like, there's something else out here. There's something more that I got to do, something else that I'm not saying, because everyone is doing Sui Reiki, which, I've done. I'm like, what is this? And so I found my current teacher, and we're actually together putting together this manual so we can teach other people the Lemurian Light energy that we do. And so when I was going for my level 2 Reiki, I found him and we connected. And it's just been this beautiful relationship of me understanding the energy of Syrian, of the Arcturians, and connecting to this other galactic energy. And so using everything from my plant medicine journeys to everything with the attunement of the Lemurian energy, and just utilizing all the tools and life experiences to be of service to people. And that's what it's really all about, because life itself is the teacher. And then now that I have over a decade of experience in all of this, now I can finally put it together in a form to present it to other people, to where then they can be masters themselves.
That's awesome. I don't know if I had told you or you knew that I'm level 2 Asui Reiki certified.
No, I
Yeah,
didn't
so
know.
I'm certified level 2 Asui Reiki. And the reason, I don't know how you got into Reiki, but the reason I got into it is because I was trying to heal my body from different types of things. And this was back 20 years ago, 20 plus years ago. And one of the modalities that I went to is I went to a Reiki practitioner who worked on me, and it really, really helped me. It helped me with anxiety I was having after I had my children, and I was a new mom. I was like super anxious and having panic attacks. And, they don't come with an instruction manual. So yeah. So I went to a Sui Reiki practitioner, and I got so much peace and healing from that I was like, oh my gosh, I've got to learn how to do this for people. And so that's what pushed me into doing it, is because the benefit that I had. And again, this goes back to what I call the healer's journey. I don't know if you guys, or you in particular, Hillis, have you heard about the hero's journey? That's a famous term used, the hero's journey. There's also a healer's journey when you're supposed to be here to be a healer, where you have health issues, and then you learn how to fix them and learn how to help yourself and learn how to heal. And then you turn around in the future and you teach other people how to do the same. And so I've gone through all those steps in my life. And I think you have as well. You've gone through a lot of those steps too.
Yeah, definitely. Everything from the emotional to the physical pain we all endure. You know,
Yeah.
it's life. And so we have to remember that Earth is a school, you know, and I didn't learn that till maybe about 15 years ago. I'm like, where am I? It's like, school. What are you talking about? This was when I was really into lucid dreaming, like almost every night.
Mhm.
And I would go to this, you know, what looked like the school. And someone said, yeah, you're in school. I'm like, what are you talking about? It's like I would go, it's like I was, you know, would wake up in Earth school, go to sleep, and I would be at my other school and learn and teaching people what I've learned here and showing people what I learned here. And then it was so funny, you know, there were some nights I would go off and I would have superpowers, you know, and saving a city or a village or a town. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, I'm like, okay, this I could do this. You know, everything from shape shifting to super strength and like I'm like and I wake up, I'm like, how come I don't have this here?
That you know that you're the first person who's ever said that to me in a conversation, and I've never shared this with anyone either, but I've had the same kind of dreams. I don't talk a lot about what I dream about, but for years now I have these dreams that I'm sitting in a classroom and I'm learning, and then I go off and I'm flying and I have superpowers and I'm doing all this stuff, and then I'm learning in the class, and I'm in this weird college, and it's up on a hill. It's like this building up on this hill, and the stairway is not a normal kind of stairway. Like I could literally tell you bit by bit what the whole inside of this building looked like. And the library
Might be
they
in the
have,
same class.
it may be because they have this one area where you go across like a sky bridge, and there's like this whole library, and it's upstairs, and there's this whole library of books that I go through, and I see that place over and over and over
Yeah,
and
that
over
sounds
again.
familiar. That
Yeah.
it sounds familiar because there's one um
Yeah.
thing that's coming to mind where I was outside and I rarely remember the outside of anything. And I was flying outside and it was uh you know the London Bridge.
Hmm.
You know, so
I've been on it.
it's yeah, it's kind of like that.
Hmm.
And so you had the steeple on one side, steeple on the other side, and you had like this long bridge in between connecting the two steeples. On one side was what it was almost like a door where we can go, almost like a teleportation, when we can almost go and teleport to wherever you wanted. The other side was the library. And the other side was like something else. And I believe that the teleportation room was in the library as
Hmm.
well. Like you can go anywhere that you wanted to. But I'm like, why would I do that? I can fly.
Was there like a meeting, like a cafeteria kind of meeting place where people were gathering? Because in mine, I always see this, there's like a general like meeting area where students are getting together and like maybe having a
That I
meal
don't
or hanging
remember
out.
so
Okay.
much. I feel like I'm not saying that it's not there, but I feel like I've been I was doing a lot of independent study. Had
Hmm.
like small groups. There was like, you know,
Yeah.
groups.
I'm just
And
wondering if we're going to the same place, and I'm wondering how many light workers actually go to the same place at night, like to get their training and stuff like that. I'm wondering.
well, I believe most of us, you know, go
Yeah.
there. A lot of us. I mean, especially you know the ones who have been here a lot of times.
Hmm.
I feel that we go through to the same space, the same process. And it's interesting because um, even as I'm saying this, I'm being, and I think you were one of the people that was on my team because there was years ago,
Hmm.
uh, in my early to mid 20s, or like mid 20s, I was sent on a rescue mission where I was leading this group of people, like me and maybe four other light workers.
Hmm.
And it was this uh, prison, so to speak, like this holding space.
Hmm.
And in this holding space, there was five other cells. So you go in and there's like, if you walk into this room, it's like a U shape.
Hmm.
You go in one way, you go out the other way. And then the Senate room, there was a Senate console, and maybe about 10, 15 feet away from the console there was five rooms. I mean, well, not five, but five cells. And then these cells were other light workers, other beings.
Wow.
and we were sent in to go save these people. And I remember me being in there leading the way, and I think it was, you may have been on my team, and it was five of us told me in charge. And so being there, so we freed them, let them out, and we led them away. But then there was somebody chasing after us. And so you guys went to go take them to safety. And I shape shifted into like this giant, whatever energy being and fought them off. And then then the next night I found you guys and we all met up. And the most uh, synchronistic thing about all of this is a week later, I met one of the people who I saved. He was a
Wow.
friend of a friend of mine that I knew.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That's
Yeah. This is the first time I'm actually saying this on the air. I've never told anyone this story.
so here's a question. Why were they in a cell? Do you think that they were soul scalped or something, or they were being imprisoned by like the Greys or like AI or like
I don't
reptilians
remember.
or
I don't remember why it's been so long, but I know that because the person who I met was on the path of becoming a doctor. And I
Mhm.
think somehow their path may have changed, but I think these are very important people who may have, the ability to shift certain outcomes.
Mhm.
And I feel that's the reason why that they, whatever decision that they were going to make at that particular time of their life, they were going to shift certain outcomes if they chose one thing or another. So I
Mhm.
believe that that's why their energy, their soul was in that space.
That's interesting. Well, yeah, the other thing that could happen is if you're a guardian angel, that can, for people where you're going on angel rescue missions, that type of thing.
Yeah, no,
So,
I don't think
yeah.
I don't think they were guardian angels. I think that these were people who,
No, I mean
because,
you and the team who
oh,
were rescuing those people. You
oh,
were
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah,
acting
yeah.
as their guardian angels
Oh,
and you
yeah, yeah,
were,
yeah, yeah,
helping
yeah,
them
yeah.
shift their outcomes and stuff. So,
But yeah,
yeah.
that,
Yeah.
yeah.
I mean, that is a possibility. There's a lot of earth angels that are here right now. So,
Yeah, I know, but I never thought about that. So, and that you mentioned it, yeah, that's what came to me instantly was to, help swing or shift the outcome back in our favor.
awesome. Awesome. That's
So who
great.
knows? Yeah.
That's great. So I'm like looking at my little list. I always have notes here so I know what, to talk about so I don't go off and forget because I have ADD and so I get really hyper focused and I forget. It's part of my being human, In fact, my husband likes to call me ADD girl, which is not very nice. That's kind of mean and derogatory, but it's something I have. Um so anyways, your new services. Let's talk about your new school that you're forming, the Syrian School of Self Mastery. Let's talk about that.
Ooh.
Please share with everybody about that. When I heard the name, I got to tell you this, Hillis, when I heard that you were calling it the Syrian School of Self Mastery, I literally did like a cheerleading, like, like I was like, yeah, I was like so excited when I saw that. I was like, nobody's doing that. And you and I were there, we were in
Yeah.
there who knows how many lifetimes, but that we had in that star system. And they're very high evolved beings, the Syrians. Now there are some bad ones. And so in Sirius A and B, there are some bad, and even Elena, I think Danon has talked about this. There's bad ones who are in league with like the Greys and stuff like that, and then there's good ones, and the good ones that are there are very highly evolved spiritual beings that are anywhere from 7th to 9th density, which is really, really high. There's 7 density and above. Okay. And so when I heard you were doing the Syrian School of Self Mastery, I was like, literally, I was like so excited. I was like, oh my God, that's such a perfect title. And with the work and the fact that you and I were both in Sirius, and so I know you, and I know that you're pulling into this lifetime, you're pulling all of this knowledge in from other lifetimes and other experiences to help people here on the earth plane. So tell everybody about what your plans are and what you're doing with that, because I'm excited for it.
The name was almost intuitively given to me because, as my teacher and I, we were talking. So we got to change the name of this energy work that we do, because everyone is popping up now saying they do Lemurian work, they do Lemurian work. It's like, well, we do Syrian energy work,
Yeah.
by way, Lemurian work by way of serious energy. And so I'm thinking, looking, and I'm like, and being a wordsmith and being a techie, I used to write SEO a long time ago. So I'm like, what can I call this? Will it be ranked high in Google or on any search engine and make sense? And being a poet, I am a sucker for alliteration. So
Mhm.
Syrian School of Self Mastery, you can't get any more alliteration than that, like all the S's. And so the reason why I named it that is because I am tuned to that energy, to that frequency. And I want other people to be able to be teachers themselves. And so over the next couple of weeks, I'm going to start working on some curriculums. One being, how people can learn to be intuitive masters, learn to tune into their psychic abilities. And I stay away from the word gifts because none of these are gifts. These are all abilities that we have to learn to access. And, it's just something that we have to accept in the way that we are, the gifts. So just like we accept that we are human, accept that we have a brain, we accept how this body functions. Now also have to accept the external, the gifts, and in me teaching other people of their psychic abilities, of their intuitive abilities, they can be able to build trust in themselves. And then that's the first thing. And then the second thing I want that's going to be going on is me teaching people about the law of vibration and
Okay.
how the spiritual laws of the universe and how they govern the universe. Because there are the spiritual laws that we do have to abide by to allow us to really come into being, into full harmony and balance with this universe. And in addition to that, I'm going to be teaching people, and this is the main reason why I'm doing this, is the Serious School of Self-Mastery. People learn how to be Lemurian light energy workers themselves. By me attuning people and teaching them how to use this gift and the energy of Lemuria, the energy of Sirius, them how to use it the proper way and channeling this
Wow.
energy the proper way. And this is an extensive course where most of everything that I'm going to have on there is going to be video where you can just watch the videos. However, to be attuned to the Lemuria light energy, this is one-on-one, over the phone, video, whatever, because you can't just do this
Right.
on video, because it's about everything you can do. That's going to be on my website. Is going to be 90 days approximately, but the Lemuria light energy is going to be 6 months, because we have to go in and clear out all the stuff.
Oh,
Then
wow. Yeah.
there's, because how I was attuned to this, it took me almost 8 months to become attuned to this. Yeah.
Wow.
Because the
Wow.
thing is,
Got to do the
how,
work. Got to do the
yeah,
work.
because you can't put in all this good clean energy in a body that's not functioning, because what I want
Right.
people to understand is that the Lemuria light energy runs through not just the energetic system, the meridians, the 7 embodied chakras, and the 4 outer body chakras, the 3 above and the 1 below. It also runs in the circulatory system, also connects to the organs in the body, also connects to
Yep.
the nervous system. It connects to everything. And so you have to allow the body to be clear of that. So when
Mhm.
you are attuned, you can get the energy at its most pure way.
Wow. Gosh, it sounds so comprehensive. And,
It is. It's
the
very
6 to 8 months, that's normal. I mean, it took me years and years and years to master all this stuff. I mean, I started learning this stuff when I was 12 years old. I tell everybody I started studying metaphysics at age 12. I started studying spirituality at age 12. And I've been doing it my whole life. And so this is an ongoing process. And so 6 to 8 months is a small commitment compared to what most of us go through, because usually all of us light workers have spent our whole entire lives studying all of these things to make us who we are today, to be able to teach and to help people. So, yeah. So for any of you who are watching this today, who are considering being a healer, maybe consider signing up for Hillis's Syrian School of Self-Mastery as one of, as a modality, use your pendulum or use your discernment and see if it's right for you, if it's something that's right for you. I have an energy medicine workshop that I have in 3 sections on my website, but I'm not teaching you and certifying you how to do a specific healing modality. I'm giving you an overview of all the different healing modalities that are out there so that you can discern what type of program, like if you choose Hillis's or some other program, what it is that you want to go and learn and study. Because like you said, 6 to 8 months, for a lot of this kind of stuff, it takes a while. So you have to be really careful what modalities you're picking to learn, because you're going to be putting a lot of your time into them. They're not going to happen overnight. We can't fix the planet overnight. We can't fix ourselves overnight. We can't, we're not going to make ourselves healthy and whole, like just snapping our fingers. That isn't going to happen. And so you have to really research, what's going to work for you, what doesn't work for you. But, Hillis is a really accomplished teacher. He's been doing this work for a long time. He's a really skilled light worker. And I definitely recommend any programs that he's offering. I'm going to always recommend him because I know him, I know his soul, and he's got good stuff he's bringing to the planet. So yeah.
Thank you so much, Kimberly. I adore you.
Well, it's a mutual adoration because, you're basically soul brothers. So, it's a mutual admiration. So, okay. So you said that you wanted to offer everyone kind of a mini healing transmission today to just kind of show you,
Oh yeah, I
what
forgot
it is
about
that you're
that.
doing. Yeah. So Hillis wanted to give you all kind of a mini healing on this program today, and I'm super happy and excited that you wanted to offer this to us, and thank you. I'm very grateful that you offered. So I'm going to let you just take it away and talk about what you're going to do. And
Yeah, I knew there was a reason why I brought these guys today.
Awesome.
um, so today I'm just gonna do simple mini light body activation. This isn't what you would not the full session that you were experiencing like 45 minutes to an hour, but this is just a very short one for you to feel the energy that I facilitate to assist in your expansion and your own personal growth.
Awesome.
So whenever you're ready, the Kimberly and those who are watching, just allow yourself to relax and take a nice deep breath and close your eyes. And as you allow yourself to relax, feel the breath of life flowing through your lungs. Flowing through your heart space. Allowing you to relax even more as we prepare to ascend into the safe and sacred space. And as we now arise into the safe and sacred space, you take this time to become familiar with these energies. As you look around the room, you see these brilliant white walls to keep you safe and protected. There's nothing can hurt or harm you here. And then we allow ourselves to look up these very high ceilings, enough room for growth and expansion. And then we look down to the floor beneath us, where we are fully supported in any choice and decision that is made here today. As we are now here in this space, connected to these energies, you begin to feel the emergence of your soul. whether you see or feel a brilliant color or shape, a combination of the two, or simply your appearance as it is now. Just know and understand that this is your soul connecting and communing with you, guide you to assist you in the beginning of this activation and transformation of the soul into this 3D body. And as we are here present with the soul, begin to call in the diamond white crystalline energy. This diamond light crystalline energy to assist in the activation of the 12-strand DNA energy, donald shape DNA energy. As this diamond light now begins to pierce down into the tops of our head, into the crown chakra, illuminating the truth and wisdom of your soul, of your complete being, allowing you to understand and know yourself, to feel yourself, to understand yourself. And as it simply moves down into the third eye, allowing you to see with great clarity of this light and wisdom that you wish to carry now in this new body, this new light body, allowing you to see the direction and purpose of this transformation, of this activation. Allowing you to move down into the throat chakra, allowing you to communicate with your body, to communicate with your voice, your soul, all there is with the Creator, in co-creation with this divinity of this diamond light matrix energy, this crystalline energy, to assist in the true communication of the mind and body. And moving down into the heart space, allowing you to be open to receive all things with unconditional love and unconditional acceptance of self and of others, as the energy of unconditional love is the universal language, the universal song of the heart. Moving into the solar plexus, you can now exert your will, your truest desire to know your truth, to have the power to speak, live in the space of unconditional love, to exert the will of your truth, to see your truth and to feel the truth of this power that you hold, the sovereignty of your will. And moving into the solar plexus, allowing you to feel the creative energies, the life force of creation, and all that is created with love and intention of the heart, the will of who you are, the intention of your soul to carry this new body, this new energy, this hexagonal 12-strand DNA light body energy. You have the will to make this transformation, the creative desires to step into this new divine space. As we move down into the root chakra, connect to Mother Earth herself, as she supports us, she supports you in this transformation. You change it, she changes. She changes into all there is, allowing you to feel, know, and understand of the energy of this diamond crystalline matrix energy, this energy of love and transformation and activation. As this energy moves into the meridian system, opening and activating all channels, connected to all organs, all cellular DNA, organisms, and moving into the circulatory system, touching all these organs and organisms, allowing you to feel the pathways of the body being open and activated from the mind to the soul, to the meridian system, to the nervous system, all speaking, all connected and being married into this diamond matrix energy, crystalline energy, as it goes deep into the cellular structure, restructuring the body, restructuring the cell structure, restructuring the DNA structure, the RNA structure, the telomeres, stem cells, recalibrating this body as you wish with your willpower, with your desire, because you are the master of this. As the mastery rises up within you, you begin to take control and with energy. Let's take a deep breath in this moment. Allow this energy to flow throughout the body as you feel the energy flowing out to your limbs, to your extremities, to your arms and legs. Allow the energy to move into your hands and feet, fingers and toes as you bring movement to these areas and allowing new awareness of this mini activation, this energy that has flowed through you, this gift unto self as you bring your awareness to your eyes. As you take a nice big deep breath and open your eyes whenever you're ready. Being here, being now, being present.
Wow, that was really relaxing. Oh my gosh. There's only one thing. You said solar plexus twice. I knew what you meant, but you didn't do, you said solar plexus, and instead of saying sacral, you said solar plexus twice, but I knew what you meant because I knew, but other people might not. So if you guys, yeah,
it's funny because I think I heard myself say it twice, but then I seen the colors in my mind and my went from the other orange. And I'm like, I knew where I was.
Well, I knew you meant solar plexus and then sacral chakra and then root chakra. So for any of you who want to replay this and do that meditation, just imagine when he does solar plexus the first time, the second time he accidentally said that, because I do those kind of things all the time. I slip up continuously. And he means the sacral, which is orange, and it's between your navel and your root chakra. So that's what he meant. So, but I knew what you meant because I'm right in tune with you. I know all this. I do chakra balancing workshops, so I know all about that. But that was so relaxing. And I got to tell you, you know what I was seeing the whole time? So I first saw this big giant like crystalline diamond come down over the top of my head, and it was sprinkling like thousands of like little tiny diamonds that were like really tiny, like bright, like so bright, like blinding bright, like, and they were pouring through my being, like all these little diamonds, and they were coming down into the different chakras. And then a smaller diamond would like come down in front of the chakra and like pulsate like this, like these little diamonds into me. That's what I was seeing. It was really very cool.
That's awesome. I love that because, what I see is always different from what other people experience. So I always love when people share what they see, because it just brings me to that space. And just know that this was a real quick mini version of that. And so, as expressed earlier at the beginning of the show, when I do this, I have my other tools, such as the Healy that I use, with a particular energy frequency to work on the physical level, as well as the crystal that work in the energetic space. So it's like when I have all the tools together, it makes
it's really powerful, really powerful. I mean, because that was powerful. I felt super relaxed, and I could feel like those little shards of those diamonds. Like I could feel it. I could feel the energy. It was that powerful, like just with that simple little basic small mini one that you did. So I can imagine with your tools, especially those really super powerful and dark crystals that come from Mount Shasta, you combine those in and you combine in the other tools that you have. I can see just, it would be so freaking powerful. So yeah,
when
really
when I did it last weekend, which was actually the first one, Uh,
Mhm.
I had some people in the first group. It's like, oh, I gotta go lay down after that. That was a lot. I'm like, I'm wiped out. I'm like, rest and hydrate, please.
That means it worked. Yeah. I mean, if they can physically feel a reaction in their body, then that means that it worked. It's all good. So, yeah.
Happy. I'm joyous of that. So yeah.
Wow. Thank you so much for doing that for me and our audience that's watching. And oh my gosh, I love I try to do as many of those as I can, as often as I can for people, that type of thing. Not that, but I try to
Yeah.
help people in that way as much as I can to get them relaxed and calm and peaceful. And
Yeah.
so all of these things are so helpful for everyone right now, going through all these energies, because we're trying to navigate all these crazy energies on the earth. And so the work that you're doing really, really assists with that.
Yeah. And the main reason why I decided to do this, especially this in this way,
Yeah.
is because with the everything that's happening on the planet,
Mhm.
if there's a way to accelerate the collective consciousness,
Mhm.
this is a way to do that.
Oh, absolutely.
We
Yeah.
kind of get to where we got to go faster. The
Mhm.
sooner the collective consciousness is more aware
Mhm.
of what the energies are,
Mhm.
the faster we can get there as a whole. So this is why this is the path to acceleration to uh, be united as a collective consciousness.
Absolutely. And one thing I want to point out to everyone is that when you're doing work with either Hillis or myself, when you're working with us either in private sessions or doing our classes or whatever you're doing with us, by you're doing that work on yourself and raising your vibration, you actually can impact all of the what we call the normies or muggles around you, the muggles, that don't, muggles is a Harry Potter term, but those are the people who are the non-magical people, because with light workers, we consider ourselves, I guess magic powers, or using our psych. I mean, it's not really magic powers, but you know what I'm talking about,
Tap our abilities, and
yeah,
so
our
yeah,
psychic abilities and all the stuff that we use a lot of abilities that some of us were born with it, some of us are developing it as we go. But the thing is that when you're working with Hillis and I, and you're raising your vibrational frequency and doing this work on yourself, it actually radiates out to all the normies and muggles around you, all those people around you that aren't awake, that aren't aware, they're not conscious, their conscious is being blocked by the bad guys that start with letter C and end with letter L, because of the fluoride in the water and all that. They blocked everybody's third eye. They spray the chemtrails, they put stuff in all the food supply because they want to keep everybody in a slave consciousness, and entrapped, and not being able to think for yourself, not being able to be a sovereign, free, a conscious person and be conscientious about what's going on around you. They don't want you to think for yourself. They want you dependent on the different governments all over the world. And so when you're doing this work with Hillis and myself, you are able to it's not only for you, it actually raises the consciousness of all of humanity. So it's not like a selfish thing at all, because when you're working on yourself, it's important to do self-care, number one, and important to help you ascend. You need to ascend and do self-preservation. But by you're doing these actions, it's actually having an implication on the whole collective, because everything that you do to raise your frequency impacts the collective as a whole, which is also why when people are nasty buttheads, they're mean and evil and rude to others and disrespectful and uncompassionate, unloving, they're in 3D, they're in a third density fear based thing that impacts the collective as well too, because it drags everybody's energy down into a black hole. So in order to counteract all of those people, all of us who are awake, we need to do our conscious effort and hard work on ourselves, and amplify that vibration and that light out to everyone around us. And by doing this work on yourself, you're able to hold a stronger light quotient in your human body, and you are able to be kind of like a beacon, like a light, like a lighthouse, or like a supernova. Many years ago, I had a guy who scanned my energy body and said, "Oh my God, you're a supernova." And I was like, "What are you talking about?" And he said, because he said my light was just like blinding, and it was going out of everybody, it was pushing out of to everyone around me. I want all of you to be a supernova, because Hillis is a supernova too. Every single one of us who does the work. Yeah. Yeah. You just knocked out your screen behind you. but the thing is every one of you needs to be a supernova. Some of you already are supernovas, but everyone who's not a supernova, you can become a supernova, and you have to become a supernova, because when we blast out that light quotient that we're holding within us to everyone around us, it is helping to raise the collective consciousness and ascend our planet a lot faster. So you got to get busy and do the work. Don't be lazy and sit around waiting for somebody to come wave a magic wand on you, because it ain't gonna happen, people. You gotta roll up your sleeves and you got to do some work. You got to do it. You got to work on yourself. Yep.
Let's see, will this work? Nope. It's gone. I knocked it out. Oh well.
Yeah. You knocked out your whole screen. That's why I don't have one behind me. It's just my office and my guest bedroom. That's it. There we go. It's back again. Your screen's back.
After that meditation, everything's like, wow.
Yeah. I feel so much like my body feels more chill, like a chill feeling in my body. Like my body had some tension in it from sleeping, in funky positions and getting some neck and back stuff. And I'm feeling a little more relaxed after your meditation. So thank you.
You're most welcome. I'm glad.
Yeah, that's awesome. So is there any other things that you want to share with anyone before we tell everybody where they can find you and sign up for all of your classes and sessions that you do? You have a session. Do you want to tell people about the one coming up tomorrow? And I think Saturday you have a class you're doing.
Actually, it's one Saturday the 20th at 1 p.m. Eastern, which is 10 a.m. Pacific.
Okay.
And then again on the 27th, which is the following week, same time. And I'm going to have some coming up in December, just don't know what dates yet. But it's the light body activation, so it's going to be the full version of it. And you can find that on WellSet. And there should be a link in the description. If not, you can go to taplink.cc/Hillis Pugh. And you can find all my links to my website, to the classes, to my social media, to the Cosmic Insight Show, to everything. Everything you need to know is at taplink.cc/Hillis Pugh. You find everything there.
Well, I will have Hillis's links also in the description. I always like to ask my guests to say where they want to be found and where they want to send people, but I still will put it all up, and I'll also put a link to your cosmic show, Cosmic Consciousness. Isn't that
Cosmic Insight?
Cosmic Insight. I have 3 friends who all have shows called Cosmic something. One's called Cosmic Reality. I'm not kidding. They all start with Cosmic, and I get them all mixed up. So it's Cosmic Insight. Yes, with Rebecca Gregory, and Rebecca is a beautiful, amazing, awesome light worker too. So I will have links to all of Hillis's stuff, websites, everything.
The show is actually tomorrow night. Oh yeah, that's what tomorrow is, Friday, huh?
Yeah, it is. Tomorrow's Friday. Yep.
So the class is on Saturday, but tomorrow night's the show. So every week we do a live show on Cosmic Insight where we, go for about a half hour. We talk about whatever topic of the day, because we never know what we're going to do it live. Mm-hmm. And then we do what we call the Cosmic Tune-Up. Where we do readings for people,
mm-hmm.
Psychic readings for people, and then do energy healing. Whether if I'm doing a meditation or Rebecca's doing her sound, or if it's a combination of the two. And lately we've been doing a combination of the two, was my meditation and her sound. Beautiful. So you guys tune in for that.
Yeah, and last week I was on that show with them and Victoria Reynolds. The two of us were on with Rebecca and Hillis, and we had a lot of fun. That was fun. We answered a lot of people's questions. We gave psychic readings, questions, answers to people, and that was really fun. Something I enjoy doing is answering people's questions and giving them those giving them those answers. I love doing that, and because I'm flexing my psychic muscles when I do that. So yeah. I love doing it. And we're able to help so many people through all of these videos we're putting out, whether it's my channel or Hillis's channel. We're the only reason that Hillis and I get up every morning and do the work we do is because we raised our hand and volunteered to come down to this planet to help humanity to ascend. And that's what keeps making us wake up every morning and do this work and move forward every day, and so on and so on. And then all of your positive comments that we get, Hillis gets them and I get them. We get all these beautiful messages that are sent to us on email and through our, messenger, and on our videos, we get beautiful comments. And that is what keeps us going, because if I didn't have the positive feedback and Hillis didn't get that positive feedback, it would be really hard, because this earth plane is really difficult to navigate. It's hard to be here. So we need to have that encouragement, so we know that we're on the right track helping people, that we know that people value the information and that it's helping. If we can make a positive change in your lives, and we can help you any way in your lives or with your relationships or health, any way at all with your ascension, if we can make a positive change for you, then we know that we're doing the right thing, and it's really rewarding. So
it very is. And thank you everyone so much for listening to us, and thank you for everyone for just showing up. I mean, and just being you and being open and receptive. So thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, everybody, just for showing up and watching this video. And if you like this video, please like it, because the more likes, the more it's seen by other people. Please subscribe to my channel if you feel that the information is valuable for you, and share it with anybody who you think would be open to it, and go on to Hillis's channel, and the links will be there. Watch his Cosmic Insight, right? Cosmic, Cosmic. I got it right. And I'm sorry, you guys, but I literally have 3 or 4 friends who all have cosmic shows on YouTube. I mean, they're all like almost the same names exactly, and so I mix them up. But Cosmic Insight, I will have to really stick that in my head. So tomorrow, go on and see him, check it out, or go back and watch the old episodes, because he's got I don't know how many episodes on there. A lot. You guys have a lot of episodes on there. Watch all the old episodes. They have amazing people on their channel that they interview. And again, Rebecca and Hillis are there to help everybody to ascend, as best as possible. And it's why we get up in the morning and eat our breakfast and get moving and do this work. So So thank you all. Thank you for joining us today. Thank you so much, Hillis, for being here with me again today. And we should do these like every so often, regular, just have you on and, just talk about different things, different topics, and have you do these meditations, because that was great.
Yeah, I mean, I'm always open. I'm always down for a good meditation. So yeah, you can count me in.
Yeah. So, but anyways, I look forward to having you back again, hopefully multiple times in the future. And thank you so much. And who knows, maybe we'll get to see each other sometime this year when I head down south, because I am planning on heading down south to Florida. So excited. I love that place.
I can't wait. So hopefully we can make it happen. Who knows?
That would be great. We'll figure it out. If not, we're going to meet up in the astral, because we always do that. We meet up in the astral realm all the time, all of us, every one of us. So bumping into each other out there in the ethers, as they say. So and thank you so much. Thank you all. And I hope you all have a blessed, wonderful, healthy, happy weekend. Take care. Bye-bye.
Everyone.